You're listening to Well, I Laughed, Part 1 of Red-Handed Money Talks.
Well, Maia, how are you?
You know,
Mm-hmm.
So a while ago, I got our dear friend Jacob to start coming to F45 with me.
Right.
And then I got my dear friend Sophie to start coming to F45 with me. And there's been a couple times where all three of us have been there together. And then today I got my other coworker, Neil, to come to F45, and all four of us were there. And you know, you do have more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader.
Thank you for immediately clocking the cult-like behaviors we were getting out of it. I was like, Patty Hearst heard a very similar demonstration at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, we love friendship, but
We do love friendship. Neil just moved here for the job, and so I think he's like trying to figure out, like, I don't know, where he fits and stuff. And so I invited him to trivia.
I was gonna say, please ask if he's
week,
good
yeah.
at 90s songs.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, great.
But he is.
Oh, are we? Oh, fuck.
You better be coming.
You know I have a Congress that day.
Well,
Sorry. We mean the 11th, yeah?
yeah, next. I do think Neil signed up for the class and then asked me what it was.
That's such Jacob energy too,
I know.
by the way.
I know. I really do think him and Jacob are like twin flames, you know, in their energy. They both like EDM kind of stuff, and that's about all I know about.
Are we trying to
Neil,
use
actually.
cult adjacent language? Isn't Twin Flames another
Yeah.
cult? Yeah.
But it's like referring to a thing. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we were like, next time tomorrow, or like same time tomorrow,
Right.
and he was like, I need a minute. And we were like, yep, give it like 20 minutes, let those endorphins hit you,
Right.
and then we'll talk later. Deeply unconvinced. So we'll see. I'm just
The process works when you work the process. You'll come in, you'll give them your credit card. That's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll find a sense of community here as your body goes through an immense change that ultimately makes you better as a person.
Yep.
Did I get all that right?
I zone out and stare. Today I was doing hamstring curls and I was just staring at the ceiling and I was like, oh, it's quiet. It was not quiet. It was they were blasting EDM music, but my brain was quiet. So that was nice.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Grant held my hand and like started like stroking my knuckles as if I'm like going through something.
Just as a teacher, default, that's what I do when someone goes, and it went quiet. I was in a loud space, but it all went quiet. Oh, okay. Formative experience happening here. Download in progress.
Yeah.
I love that, though.
Yeah.
Good for you. It sounds like it's been a lovely little afternoon.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean this with the most love. I'm very happy to be almost done with this story because I think, you know, we go through like cycles of like, Grant is doing story and then story
Right.
and then I do then story. But then in between, it's kind of like,
Yeah, I've like been on vacation, kind of,
yeah,
in the
exactly.
podcast
And
world.
we kind of go back and forth. And so I am
Yes.
very excited for this story to be done so that I can just kind of for a second and like recalibrate because I went through that depression thing like right before the first story. And so this last 2 weeks I've been like, oh God, everybody hold on.
Run.
Yeah. But it's just me. And so it'll be nice to like I usually feel like I need to be doing something. But it's really apparent when I do actually have a story to be researching. So I'm glad to be going back to that feeling without having a story to be researching.
Yeah.
And I can actually get ahead on editing again because I've been very behind. But
Yeah.
how are you? How was your tournament last weekend? I never even got to ask you about
Oh,
that.
that was fine. Like, listen, there's been a lot of fun the last 7 days. That, you know, punched in, punched out a little bit. You know, we had some kids do well, which is exciting. We have some trends we're excited about. We have some things we got to get after. You know,
You have another tournament this weekend, yeah?
Every weekend between now and 4 months.
Now and forever. Are you
the-
going to be at all of them? This one?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Because you said there's some that you're not going to. Right?
Yes, probably January. I think I'm taking the lead on the next couple ones, which will be great.
I get it.
But no, the thing I actually want to talk to you about, dear listener, if you're a person who wants to avoid spoilers, stay with me. I'm not going to spoil this for you. Trust, okay?
Spoilers about what?
Exactly.
Okay.
So last night, Lydia and I went to a movie with some people.
Yes.
We went to Begonia, Bugonia, starring Emma Stone and people you've also seen in movies. But Emma Stone's the only name I really know. And here's the best way I can describe this movie experience. When I sat down with Lydia to watch this movie in the theater, Lydia leans over to me and she goes, I remember when we watched Saltburn in theaters and we didn't know what to expect going in. And then we're like shocked. I'm just like really hoping that that's going to be this experience again. Because Lydia had watched like 20 seconds of the trailer and then I'm like, Jacob, don't show me more. I'm in. I'm ready to go.
Because isn't it like a psychological thriller?
It's in many ways everything.
Okay.
And I didn't say it at the time, but I wanted to be like, oh, Lydia, I think like what we had when we watched Saltburn was a really special experience. And I think that's just kind of a thing you don't get in theaters a lot. And I think you're going to be chasing that for a long time. I was dead wrong. Begonia is that exactly. Begonia is shocking in ways that is wonderful. You know I'm not a gore person. You know I'm not a horror person. So if that's you, you're safe to go see it. But shocking at times and surprising and hilarious. And it was one of those movies where when the end credit finally rolled and the lights in the theater like came up halfway, right? Because there were still like credits rolling. There was just this like
silence
for like 15 seconds.
I love that. That is my favorite feeling after a movie. That's like that happened to everywhere, everything all at once or whatever. And then also A Ghost Story, and I was just like, that's just a beautiful moment.
Right. No, it was minute to minute intense in the way that I think One Battle After Another, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie I saw a couple weeks ago, wants to be. And here's the thing. I thought One Battle After Another was intense. I thought that did do a good job of like kind of like keeping you going. Begonia, edge of my seat sometimes. Literally. There are times I put down my popcorn because I wanted to catch every word. Like I wanted to not lose a single thing to crunch. Yeah. Right? So phenomenal.
Wow.
I know.
So good. It's very good.
Really good.
Interesting. I have a lot of movies I've been meaning to watch. Yikes.
Okay. Not a job. Just as a reminder. It's a fun pastime.
I know. I really wanted to watch, what was it? American Sweatshop. I think it has, she was in, Jesus Christ. Like one of the teen fiction movies with like Betty and Archer or Jesus Christ. I can't think of her fucking name. It's basically the premise is all of these characters are in the American Sweatshop, which is they just have to review like social media posts and see if it violates guidelines and then take it off. And they see some like crazy shit.
I have seen that trailer.
And she like witnesses a crime and then she's like moral dilemma of like if she should do anything.
Yeah.
And she's like told not to. And I want to watch that really bad. Also, Wicked is coming out in like a week or so. I am so fucking excited. I'm so excited. I am going to be sobbing.
Yeah.
I
love that you're going to be crying and you know word by word that story.
So I saw a TikTok that was like someone was having a conversation with their friend and they were like, I don't know what the casting is because I'm trying not to look at it, but apparently there's some big thing with the Cowardly Lion.
Okay.
And they were also like, I wonder who they're going to get to play the Tin Man. And like, I wonder who they're going to get to play the like Scarecrow. And they were like, oh, you wonder that? Oh, okay.
You're going to be really surprised by the second half of this movie.
I'm really excited for you. Yeah.
Something you'll love and appreciate. Fierro on Broadway, the actor playing it right now.
Oh yeah, who is it?
A superhuman.
Yeah.
Ran the New York City Marathon, went home, showered.
And then went and performed Fierro. That's psychotic behavior.
Imagine singing and dancing to the song Dancing Through Life after running 26.5 miles.
I can't.
No, I literally can't either. I'm like, how is your body able to do that?
I wouldn't be able to do any choreography after running like a 10K.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, would I be able to jump from building to building if my body was that way? Like, I don't know. I need to know though.
Yeah, I need to know.
Lastly, last little update from me on my end at least. This is not movie related, if that's okay.
No,
okay.
It's not okay. How dare you?
I'm in hell right now.
Please explain.
Happy to. So I invited the entire parent and family list in our program to a judge training next week. And that list is 430 people. And that's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Blessed with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to turn off email notification for when someone accepts, declines, or maybes it.
That's actually a really good question. I do be meaning to figure that out.
Yeah, I think I have found it out, and yet still initial results are not promising.
Are you Gmail?
Yeah, we're a Gmail school. Yeah. I think I have found something, but because my email is owned by the school, like some settings are just frozen on or frozen off. And I am really afraid that over the next 7 days, I have 430 RSVPs waiting for me. So I'm in hell.
That is hell. That is hell.
Not even like them going or not. Like I'd love for them to go. If they can't, I get it.
But it's a lot of emails.
As a 0 new messages by end of week person, like that's how I've always worked. I am struggling with this.
I need to figure out some of the filters on my Outlook inbox because I do this really fun thing where I get overstimulated by Outlook and then I just stop checking it. Which honestly is fine half the time. Like most emails that I'm on nowadays are just for visibility. Okay. Which is bullshit. Okay. But also makes it way harder to find the emails that are actually for. Someone just emailed me. I was like, Teams message. Why are you doing this? This is awful. This is the worst form of communication.
You're like, at work, email is phone call, Teams is text message, and I never want to be called.
Yes, I never want to be called. I have started just setting my status to busy so that people who would just call actually feel like they have to message. And then one of my younger coworkers, I had my status set to busy for the entire morning, and she was like, hey, do you have a second? I just a couple seconds. I just need to ask you a quick question. I was like, oh, you were waiting for my status to be not busy before you. Cute. It was very sweet, but I was like, daring. I can't do this because the old white men will just be calling.
You need to watch Begonia. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. You just gotta go ahead with your story.
No, that was it. That was all. I love watching you not know how to say words.
It's just. It was one of those movies, and I told this to Lydia when we got out, and it is kind of related to this. I want you to know. I won't be able to tell you about that until afterwards.
Okay.
But it's also one of those movies where it feels like everything relates to it. I was like, I would love to be assigned
That's good art.
a 600-word essay where I'm asked to identify
I did a
motifs
2-part
like
episode
that.
on The Wizard of Oz and then Wicked, so I think you're more than welcome to do that if the creative urge strikes you.
No, because once I generate it, I need someone to grade it and then give me an A. I just need someone to prove that my thoughts are good and correct. And that's not what this platform is. I know. And that's why I'm not going to do it.
Damn it.
But I'm excited to hear what you have planned for us today. I'm excited to get caught red-handed. No, I'm feeling a little sassy today.
Yeah. What's the next theme, Grant?
Yeah, who
Public
knows?
shaming.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
I mean, that could be kind of fun. We'll see.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we'll see.
I was not expecting that reaction at all. All right. Well, let's get into it.
Let's.
Jesus Christ. First of all, we have just the same announcement. We're taking a holiday break, so head to our website to vote on what episodes should be re-released. Some patrons have said that they don't want to know what episodes are going to be re-released.
Oh, fun.
So I won't tell you, I guess. Let me know if you disagree with that decision. The link, I think, is also in our link tree. And then if you just head to wellilaugh.com, it should be just at the top of the page. So nice. Do that.
My good friend Anna is still working her way through the episodes, but doesn't have as much time. And so she is coming up on the big cheese. And I'm like,
that's so exciting
listen,
for her.
I went on a little bit of a tear there. So just get ready for some of those episodes.
It was, yeah. We do go through some phases, don't we? Yeah. Okay. This is a story that's been on my list for a really long time. And I decided now was the time, especially because it's pretty funny. A little depressing in some parts, most not actually depressing, but depressing, oh man, the government does fail us, that kind of depressing. Okay, yeah. And so this has been on my list for a while. I don't want to say I wish I had more time with it, but I want to say that if you are interested in this, I found so much information, you guys. There's just a lot of documentation, and because of the nature of what it is, there is like everything is documented. So if you really want to go down a rabbit hole and you're interested in this is a rabbit hole that you can absolutely go down. But with that, let's get into it. Okay, we are going to start. You remember your assignment?
Oh, yes, I do.
Not yet.
Sorry, it happened many lifetimes ago, and by that I mean noon, but I did legitimately look it up during lunch.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. It'll be a while.
Okay.
I just wanted to remind you. So, Melvin Weinberg. Do you know that name?
No.
Perfect. Incredible. Iconic. Lovely. He was born December of 1924 in the Bronx to Helen and Harry Weinberg. Helen was of Swiss descent, and Harry is of Russian Jewish descent. And Helen adopted Judaism when she married Harry. So Melvin, or Mel, as we'll call him, and his two sisters, Sylvia and Marilyn, were raised Jewish.
Can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
This is about one of your projects that you've done recently.
Mm-hmm.
You've been building out the podcast timeline.
Yeah.
So when he's born in the Bronx, he's able to look out to the river and see Mary Mallon, Typhoid Mary. Isn't that kind of fun? Because at this point, she's in her second quarantine.
One of the things I'm going to be doing when I come out of this story, first things first, the Louvre heist. Gotta really get into that. Saved that treat for after this.
What do you think I was thinking about when you said stolen identity? No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
The Louvre heist, and then second, the timeline. I really want to get into that. Okay. So anyway, he was raised Jewish. That's where we were. Bullet point 3. Mel's first con ever was 1931 when he was 6 years old and in the first grade. Mel's first grade teacher would use gold stars to reward good students and good behavior. And Mel every morning would get 1 gold star for coming dressed well to school. However, by about 9:30 to 10, that gold star would be taken away from him for whatever reason. But Mel knew that he didn't want his parents to know that he wasn't that great of a student. And so over the course of the days when his teacher had her back turned, he would swipe more gold stars. And so every day he was bringing home like 5 or 6 gold stars. And so his parents are thrilled. They think he's doing well. And then at the end of first grade, he comes home and he's like, they held me back. And the mom, Helen, is like, the fuck do you mean they held you back? You come home with all of these gold stars. What do you mean? And he says, he says, it's because I'm Jewish.
Sorry. That's just...
It's just like so out of left field from like a 6-year-old.
Right.
Is crazy. And then Helen's furious and confused because Mel's teacher is Jewish.
Good, okay.
And they live in like a pretty high density Jewish population area. And so she's like, I'm gonna talk to your teacher.
She's like, we send you to the Jewish school as we live in the Jewish neighborhood of the Bronx.
What
I
the
have no idea what you're talking about.
And so she goes in to talk to the teacher and she's like, how did my kid not make it through first grade? And like, he's coming home with all these gold stars. What do you mean? And that's when the teacher tells her, Helen, that like, hey, I only give him gold stars in the morning for coming. And he has never gotten a gold star for anything else. And usually by mid-morning, he no longer has that initial gold star anyway. So
he
like,
should have 0 gold stars.
I was wondering where those were all going. Mel would later say that this encounter taught him a valuable lesson. Always have a good excuse and always leave the scene if 2 of your marks are getting together.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
But also, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's right, but damn, that as a 6-year-old?
10-second silly little story.
Absolutely.
Last school I taught at, we had a behavior like reinforcement system that involved us being able to award individual students points for like strong academic
5
discourse.
points to Gryffindor.
100% that, but they did not allow us to call it that.
Damn it.
But that's 100% what it was. And there was almost always a time somewhere around mid-November where they were like, some of you give out 150 points a day, and some of you have yet to give out 10 on the year. And we have some serious inflation issues. Because you could cash them in for like actual things.
That's actually so funny.
Teachers, if you've been to a grade norming meeting, I sat in my career through dozens of like point norming meetings, and nothing ever changed for anybody because Dumbledore always rigged it for Gryffindor in the end anyways.
That's so real.
I just needed to get that off my chest.
That's
Thank you
fair.
for the opportunity.
You're welcome. That one was very deep for you.
It's just, if I'm going to walk back, and that's okay. That's all right. It can't get me anymore. Okay. I'm at a different school now.
Yeah, it can't hurt you. You're far away. It's in the past.
It was the same system. However, we used to record bad behavior, which of course resulted in negative points. And negative
problematic.
Well, I mean, only if you're concerned about student privacy, because we had, for obvious reasons, access to the entire schools, and so sometimes
you could just see.
Right. Sometimes we'd find out if Maia said "fuck you" to her math teacher. You know, for example.
That's Black Mirror shit. Like that episode where they have a rating above their head. Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to share any identifiable information, and this person's now an adult, so I'm going to use your name, Maia.
Oh,
One of my favorite ones was Maia chased around Mrs. Smith with the chicken finger as he yelled, "You can't really be vegan. Try it. Try just one." As Mrs. Smith cowered in the corner. Funniest thing. Kids say the darndest thing. Let's get back to him, though.
So terrifying. You can't really be vegan.
Very fun fact. The famous rotisserie story, the rotisserie chicken story, I've shared that.
Which one?
The one that happens at a work meeting.
Nope, I don't think you have.
Really? That'll be a Patreon episode.
Okay, perfect.
I want to shut up. Happened Miss Smith.
Write that down.
I will.
Write that down right now. I need
will.
to know. We talk a lot about rotisserie chicken. Also, the Patreon that's releasing this week, we really did talk a lot about circumcision. That was crazy. It just kept coming. I was like, oh, okay, we're finally on. Nope, we're back.
Really found our way around that issue, huh?
Hey.
Nice.
Anyway, Melvin Weinberg did his first con when he was in the first grade. We just talked about that. So he goes on through school. He ends up going to a high school, and he does drop out after his first year, so after 9th grade, and he starts working for an electric company. He dropped out largely just because he hated school, I think. Not really because I think his parents wouldn't finance that or whatever, but his lack of education would cause both a sense of shame and regret and also a sense of pride, depending on the situation. For example, if he was ever conning a very well-educated Mark, he would always brag that I never even finished high school and I was able to like fool you or something. Quote, I never liked school, and sometimes I think if I'd gone for an education, I wouldn't have it as good, because a lot of things is just streetwise. Out in the world, it's the greatest thing when you're streetwise. I'm
just so excited to find out what this guy did.
You're going to lose your goddamn mind, because you can root for him.
Okay. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild?
This is crazy.
Yeah. After Pearl Harbor, he volunteered for the Seabees, which is a construction battalion, if I understand correctly. And so he was trained to operate a landing craft while in the Seabees, and then he served in the Navy during World War II from 1942 to 1946. Mel would then marry Mary O'Connor 2 weeks after meeting her, and they would have 3 kids and settle in Long Island. They went back to the area where his parents are because Mel was going to help his father, Harry, in their family glass business, which had been founded by Mel's immigrant grandfather. And by help, I mean breaking glass of other storefronts so that they would need more glass or acid washing them.
Okay, so he's like, we're going to come back and help drum up loads of business. We're going to destroy things for you.
Yeah, and it actually, the more digging I did, the more I found out that he may have actually been paid to do that by the official of the, glass business union. Like, someone was like, hey, kid, I see what you got in ya. In the middle of the night, you go around with this other delinquent child and throw rocks through windows.
There's no guarantee that it's going to go to his pop's shop, you know? We're just trying to drive up the demand for glass.
Yep. That's literally what they were doing. Fucking hilarious.
All these families are like, is it a hate crime? And it's like, no, they just need you to keep them in business.
Yeah. We just got a new storefront like last year. Yeah. Before we go further, we're just going to talk more about his romantic life because it doesn't really play a huge part in the rest of the story. So he married Mary O'Connor. That would end in a divorce in 1962. They were married for quite a while. I can't remember the year that they got married in. And then he would marry Cynthia Marie Reagan, who would go by Marie. So she would be Marie Weinberg at some point. And then they would stay married until she dies.
Okay.
Just so you all know. So now we're just going to talk about some shenanigans. This is the best. Okay. Where do I want to start?
I've enjoyed every second of the story so far. I think that's clear.
Let's see. He once took John Wayne to a Miami racetrack where he had inside information, which led to both him and John Wayne making so much money that an official from the racetrack had to go to the bank to get more money to pay them out. He conned Wayne Newton and comedian Joey Bishop at one point. He stole a police badge and then would flash it to get discounts, specifically at hotels where he was meeting up with his mistresses.
Remind me of his name again.
Melvin.
Not Ron Dante?
No.
Okay, because it sounds very similar.
I know, I was writing
and
this
it's
and I
kind
was
of in
like,
the same time period.
Well, Ron Dante, I don't know if he ever cheated on his wives. Who's to say? I don't know. This guy always cheating on his wife. That is the one thing you don't root for him for.
This guy loves infidelity.
Yeah. Well, I think he's quoted at one point saying he always wanted a woman to come home to and a woman to have fun with.
Oh.
And apparently he was raised primarily by his mom. And so there was another source that was saying he was, in talking to men, like had developed the like male kind of misogynistic method of talking about women. But when he was then in a room with women, he completely changed demeanor. And so it's a little hard to tell how he felt about women other than he really loved them.
He trusts and believes women. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, one time he was at a hotel meeting up with one of his mistresses and he had flashed his badge to get a discount at this hotel. And so they're in the middle of doing the deed and a bellhop comes up to the room because there is a holdup, like a criminal holdup at the front desk. And the bellhop is like, will you please intervene? And he had to escape because he was like, fuck, I'm not a real
He's
cop.
like, give me just a minute. Run!
Yep.
Cut to downstairs. It's actually him holding up the hotel. He's doing both jobs.
Somehow he's doing it all.
The perfect cover.
Yeah. I think he did meet Frank Sinatra at one point, so he had similar mob connections to Frank Sinatra, like Lucky Luciano and all of them. He once sold 5,000 pairs of socks that I think he got for free because they came out of the manufacturing plant, like, not quite right, as in they didn't have a sole on them. And so he ended up selling them. He had taped them in such a way that no one would notice until they had already opened the socks, and by then he was gone. Fucking crazy. He also realized that in New York, there are a lot of immigrants or like children of immigrants, grandchildren of immigrants, right? And so a lot of them are very prideful about their heritage, right? And he did notice that a lot of times those people leaned towards things that were manufactured where their ancestry was from.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And so when he was helping his dad run the glass business, there's this thing called demi-glass, which is like half the cost of regular glass, but it's like treated on one side, not treated on the other. And so it has this kind of like wavy look to it, which is not what you want.
Right.
Right. And so what he would do is he would install demi-glass when he was saying he was installing regular glass. And then when the people came up and were like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with this glass? He had stuck a sticker on it. He had figured out their heritage, stuck a sticker on it that said made in blank. And so you're like, oh, that's so weird. I don't know. Yeah, it was imported from Ireland. And then
the Irish store clerk.
And then he never had to replace glass for anyone that he did that to. He had different stickers for like Spain, Ireland, Germany, Italy,
so he's
Israel.
Charging full price, giving them an inferior product. And then when they're like, I paid full price for a superior product, he's like, you did. This is from Ireland.
Yeah, this is great.
Gorgeous.
And
Everyone
then he
knows
just pocketed
Ireland,
the rest.
Huge production of glass
I
happening
think
on
it
Ireland.
started with Italian Americans, and then he just kind of expanded his sticker production from there.
There are times where it's like, hey, that scam artist scammed innocent people, and that's a scam. But if we weren't so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you know.
If you told me the popcorn that made me sick was from Nebraska, I'd keep buying it.
You would.
I did keep buying it.
I know,
it was
you
really
did.
good.
Yeah. And Grant's like, someone tell me it's from Nebraska, please. I believe Mel also owned a chain of maybe dry cleaning, maybe like laundromats, something like that. No idea really what happens to that later on in the story. But anyway, this guy, J. Carl Stark, owns a laundry in Pittsburgh, lost $3,750 to Mel in 1976. But he said, quote, "It was almost, not quite though, a privilege to be taken by him." Oh, he was good. It was worthy of the money just to watch him. He was very smooth, a real con artist.
I feel like I read that exact line in one of my silly little rom-coms recently.
Thank you. I was hoping you would say that.
Instantly. On the third word, I was like, oh.
I want to be taken by him. Yeah.
Oh.
100%.
Okay. This is one of those moments in the book where I realize I am too close to school and need to switch over to music, and I will finish this later on a walk.
Yeah.
You know?
Or at home while I'm staring at the ceiling.
Right, exactly. And it's all silent. I mean, it's not, but it is, you know?
So there's a lot that goes on in Mel's life. I believe at some point he like moves to Florida, then he moves to California, then he moves back to New York. He does all this crazy shit, at some points is very poor, at some points is really high rolling, but when he's high rolling, he's rolling with higher rolling, so he always feels poor, you know? He also enjoys gambling and all that stuff. And so anyway, at some point, he starts a scam called London Investors. This is a front-end scheme, or what...
Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah, what con artists will call an advance fee dodge. So he played the part of a man who would give you a loan when other, more reputable businesses wouldn't. So if your credit's shaky, or if you're in a really desperate situation, you need a lot of money, he's your guy. He can get you some money. So he offered up to like $1 million loans from quote-unquote overseas banks in Switzerland, England, and the Middle East. But he had a non-refundable application fee of $1,000. And if you were in a desperate situation, you know.
He's like, I can get you the $500,000. Mm-hmm. Fill out this bank's $1,000 fee, and then we can get it to you. And then he would
give
bounce
me
down.
The $1,000, fill out the application. I'll talk to this bank in the Middle East, and we'll see if we can get you this loan. And he was so good, in fact, that he would like call them later and be like, I'm so sorry. Like the loan didn't. He
wouldn't even skip out.
No.
He would like make contact.
I think at some point he had like a home base for London Investors. Yeah. And $1,000, I'm assuming this is around 1970. $1,000 in 1970 is around $8,000 today in 2025. So also one of the keys here is that he needed to be perceived as one of the only contacts for these overseas banks, that like you need to find the right guy to talk to these investors overseas. Yeah, he would eventually tell them that they had not been approved for the loan. And he was so good at this, many people never even knew that they had been conned by him. In fact, sometimes he got the same person twice.
He got repeat customers?
Yeah, that was like, okay, like the Middle East bank didn't want you, so let's try the Switzerland bank.
Again, if we weren't so dumb,
and they would pay the application fee again.
Right, of course they would. They have to. It's a new application.
It's a new application, yeah. When asked, he said his business was averaging around $500,000 to $1 million or more per year, and just by doing this.
He needs to do is just lie.
Yes. Yeah.
And not even like, all he's promising is potential that he knows he doesn't have.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's actually promising them any guaranteed thing.
Mm-hmm. And he would also like pretend it's like they're pretty picky about the kinds of people that they take, which makes the person even more desperate. And this
story blends so deeply into the Ron Dante stuff that you told me. I feel like I'm already in Mel's head.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I love this Airbnb. I've rented it before, kind of thing. You
You're
know?
so not ready. I'm so excited for this. Sometimes he was saying he would do like 100 marks per month on this like London Investors scheme, and yeah, sometimes the marks would come back. So he was making a fuck ton of money. So he said he was making about $500,000 to $1 million per year. That translates to about $6 million in 2025, assuming it was $1 million in 1975, which seems about right. Yeah. His luck then does run out in 1977. Him and his mistress at the time, Evelyn Knight, are caught by federal authorities for fraud and sentenced to, I think, 3 years each, I think. And he works out a deal with the FBI to get Evelyn off on the charges. I don't know why exactly. I think it may have been that his argument was that she didn't know really what was going on, and he was whatever.
She just didn't ask any questions from
Which,
where all the money's coming from.
fair enough.
Yeah, truly.
And
there's
so,
no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Exactly. I think initially the FBI were like, hey, you help us. We'll get your charges dropped. And he was like, I'll help you. You get my girlfriend's charges, which is sweet, I think.
Just like shockingly loyal for a man famous for mistresses.
Yes. He does, I believe, get parole, though. But he does offer to help the FBI catch, quote unquote, bigger fish than him.
Okay.
And so the FBI is like, okay, yeah, absolutely, we'll do that. Deal. And so they give him his first two marks, or like the 2 marks he needs to help them catch in order to get his girlfriend, get the charges against his girlfriend dropped. And so those 2 marks are Joe Trocchio and Fred Pro, which are 2 mobsters in New York. And Mel makes a call because he, I think, knows them, and he records all of the calls that he has with them. What he does is he claims that he knows some wealthy investors that are looking for some way to make some money in the United States. And these are some overseas investors from his overseas bank connections, right?
Okay. Which don't exist at all. He's never worked in banking.
No, but nobody needs to know that.
He has a 9th grade education.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And so Mel calls and records, and by the fall of 1977, he hands over like a hell of a lot of recordings that reveal everything from money laundering to conspiracy to commit murder. And so yeah, the FBI absolutely have enough to get these 2 guys now. And the FBI is actually so impressed with him. They're like, you know what? We if you plead guilty to the charges we have against you, you can get off on parole and not like go to jail for the 3 years. And so a silly little treat, if you will. You don't have to go to jail. And so the deal's over. And at this point, he just keeps getting calls from people now that word is spread that he has a wealthy investor who's interested in like maybe getting in some deals.
Mob people talk.
Mob people talk, exactly. And the FBI has not made a move on Joe Trocchio and Fred Pro yet. And so he continues to get these calls, and he just willingly continues to record them. He doesn't need to, but he does. And
always good to have on hand.
You know, just for funsies. But he was doing it for a reason, is that once he realized what was going on, he brought some of those recordings to the FBI and was like, there are still big fish to fry.
There is crime in here.
There's fucking crime, my
As
dude.
an expert on crime, this is crime.
And what he said after the fact is that he had realized that as soon as Joe and Fred were put on the stand or like arrested and taken to jail, he would have to be the star witness. And so his con man days were for sure over.
Oh.
And so
what?
Yeah, because everyone
No,
would
I get
know.
it. I'm just shocked at that turn of heart without literally anyone compelling him to do it. Really.
Well, he was like, I want to continue to help, because it was still kind of conning to get this information from Joe and Fred. And so he was like, I want to continue to live this con man life in any way I can. And so I will help you catch some of these criminals that I have now like have these recordings for, if you promise to delay the like prosecution of Joe and Fred until after we're done.
He's
like,
for reals doing it for the love of the game.
And what else is it that happens? He says, I'll also pay for my expenses because I can't make any money. And
I want an expense account.
Yeah, and that seems to make sense. And the FBI is like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm in. And so they actually have just the project for him. But before we get into that, here's a picture of Mel in his later years. He has a crazy comb over. Like a crazy comb over.
Kind of looks like Sal from the Ocean's movies.
Yeah. And he's
Those
wearing like these
glasses are
aviators,
crazy.
like Robert Downey Jr. aviators, you know, that are like tinted but not real sunglasses, you know?
It's funny. This man does live in New York, but I also feel like he could have made a real go of it in LA.
He tried LA and I think he hated it.
Okay, sure.
He has like a really, really thick Bronx accent.
Yeah, they don't like that in LA, I don't think.
No, not really. So before we get any further.
He's conning people just for the love of the game.
For the love of the game. So there's trigger warnings. There will be a mention of one suicide later on. Not a main character, not graphic, but just so you know. The sources for today are United States of Scandal with Jake Tapper, which was aired originally on CNN, but I think you can watch it now on Apple Plus. This particular episode is based off of season 2, episode 1. The New York Times, FBI, 60 Minutes, UPI, Office of Justice Programs, CBS, People Magazine, Hollywood Reporter, and a Wondery podcast called American Scandal. It is like a 3-parter. I think it's like their season 42 or 43. I'm not sure. The FBI is like, we have just the scene for you. So let's talk about the political scene in the 70s, Grant. What big political thing happened in 1974?
So there's a lot of things going on in the 1970s.
Specifically one thing.
Specifically this thing is there's the Yom Kippur War,
Nope.
which triggers...
You're a step ahead. What happened in the United States in 1974? You did an episode on it.
Okay, hold on. It's not the election.
I am not a crook.
Oh, is it the Nixon
It's Watergate.
thing? Okay, there we
It's
go.
Watergate.
Okay, sorry. I'm
I
like, it's
appreciate
not
you. I was
76,
like, oh,
and
I
it's
should
not.
have.
I'm like, there's a lot of history there,
I know.
Maia.
It was like I really
Like-
should have clarified what I was asking.
And I'm like, it's not a Kent State thing. I know it's not that.
Watergate.
Right.
It's Watergate. Do you
Thank
want to
you.
give like a 2-sentence?
A
summary?
famous scandal involving corruption and a coordinated lawlessness from the president.
Yes, and like the highest levels of government.
Correct. That will result in him losing his office.
Yes. One source for the United States of Scandal docuseries said Watergate is like the fall in the Bible. There's only what happens before the fall and what happens after the fall politically. So after Watergate, public trust in the government is at an all-time low, and the FBI is absolutely not exempt from that public distrust. After Watergate, the public is concerned that the FBI was not operating as an independent law enforcement agency, but instead as a political tool of the president, which it should not be doing. Obviously, this concern existed from the public before Watergate because of our sweet, sweet baby angel, J. Edgar Hoover. That was all sarcastic. He is not a sweet, sweet baby angel. If you want more on J. Edgar Hoover, we talked about him at least in episode 97 and episode 113 and probably several episodes of Grants. I can't remember. He is a nightmare. He just really wanted to know everything about everyone in like a really creepy and bad way.
Like Loki kind of made blackmailing an art form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was incredible at it.
Yeah.
Like it's studied now, I'm pretty sure. So after Watergate, it's a different FBI. They're a lot more ambitious. A lot of the agents are a lot more ambitious, and they are a lot more invested in white-collar crime and organized crime, trying to root that out. Agent John Good is a supervising agent, and he's trying to find a new way to target some of these white-collar criminals. And so in July of 1978, the FBI is set out to catch New York City's underworld figures dealing in stolen art. But they need like some help from a con artist, so they bring Mel Weinberg in since he has all of these fucking connections, I guess, in the underworld, and half the people in the underworld believe he has all these like overseas really wealthy connections. But how will the Marks believe that the FBI agents and Mel have the money that they are claiming that they have when they come to the table and like, we're going to invest this in you or like in whatever, and like we have this art, whatever. How are the Marks going to believe that they're legit? Lucky for the FBI, there's one very specific group of people that Americans currently perceive to be incredibly wealthy. Grant, do you want to talk about OPEC?
So there's a war in the Middle East around this
Yes.
time, and that triggers some pretty large global like economic ramifications. Specifically, the oil producing economies or whatever economic coalition is OPEC is a bunch of countries that produce a bunch of oil. They decide to embargo a bunch of countries for supporting Israel in the Yom Kippur War. And so it's the 1973-1974 embargo where they refuse to sell oil to like the United States, Canada, I think Japan's on that list too, some European countries. They embargo them from purchasing their oil, which destroys America's economy. I mean, not like, I'm not being
Oil
super
prices
concise tonight. I
skyrocket.
don't know why I'm struggling to be so concise on this.
I don't know.
I'm shocked at like I'm stumbling over my own words. America has to run on oil. We now have a lot less of it. Oil becomes more expensive, so everything becomes more expensive, triggering like an inflation crisis. But also in the process, now that oil is worth so much money, these countries are making a shit ton of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the UAE specifically, like Arabic countries, as specifically they're called at this point, are rolling in it. And so a lot of Americans perceive people of Middle Eastern. That's not the right term anymore, is it?
I think you call it Middle Eastern or Southwest Asian.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes you use just the ethnicity. So like those of like Arabic or
Okay.
Persian descent.
Okay.
Yeah.
People of Arabic descent, they perceive to be super wealthy, but also Americans still to this day don't have a really good understanding of Arabic cultures.
Right.
So that leaves the door wide fucking open for the FBI to be like, we have this super wealthy Arabic man.
Okay.
Let's bring him in. Most Americans, when they envision a wealthy Arabic person, mainly a man, they envision a sheik.
Right.
A sheik is the actual translation of that word is
God.
wise elderly person.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think my brain jumped to the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Sorry. Go ahead.
But stupid ass Americans don't know that a sheik is technically a wise elderly person. They just imagine it to be like a lord,
right.
kind of.
Sure.
And
powerful man with a specific outfit.
Exactly, with a very specific outfit. So the FBI creates Abdul Enterprises. The strategy.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
I think they like legitimately create this business. Like I think it's.
But also that name, I feel like is offensive.
I have no idea.
Maybe Abdul's a really common last name in the area. It'd be like Smith Enterprises
so.
from like a different country. It
Yeah.
just kind of feels jarring to hear it in that
Yeah.
way. I'm like, ooh, was that our final choice? Or did we workshop that? And then it's like it's 1970s.
Don't even
America.
worry, it's gonna get worse.
Okay, great.
Yep. So the strategy would be that their agent or Mel or whoever they send in is representing a incredibly wealthy sheik who has all this money that they want to invest in the US or in stolen art or whatever. And so this is where we get ABSCAM. Ab short for Abdul and then scam. However, and I'm just going to say this now, I think I wrote it in my notes later. The media, when it initially gets a hold of this, will claim that ABSCAM is short for Arab scam, which is not good. But
No.
I didn't see any documentation that the FBI like bait and switched it and we're like, oh fuck, like it was Abdul. I think it was legitimately always Abdul scam, but whatever. The FBI really does need a different fucking naming scheme. And so one of the ruses is that the sheik is concerned about political and social unrest in the Middle East. And so that's why they want to invest more heavily in the US. And it's also, if Mel's involved, relatively believable because if you were like cued into the underworld, you've probably been hearing that he has connections in the Middle East. And that's specifically due to his conversations with Joe Trocchio and his involvement in the London investors. All of the calls he had been receiving after Joe Trocchio and Fred Pro was for a sheik that he had told Joe and Fred about. And that's what got Joe and Fred done for. I just didn't want to spoil it that far early. But he had named this fictional sheik, Sheikh Kamir Abdul Rahman, Rahman. I am definitely not pronouncing that right, but that's the name that they went by. And so the FBI also realized, like, okay, I mean, that's great. That's a great place to start. We can have Mel go in and claim he has this wealthy investor and then get these guys to like start admitting things. But we recognize that a lot of these people aren't going to trust us if we don't actually bring a sheik in.
Right.
You know, they're going to be like, what the fuck are you? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so they need to bring someone in who at least looks the part to make this plan believable to art thieves and whoever. The only problem is they don't have any agents available, I think, who actually speak Arabic.
Okay.
And so they get a man named Mike Dennehy. You're right, that is an Irish name because he is Irish.
It just all feels so disorganized and unprofessional, top down, that I'm like, what? Like, and then what? Like,
this was the FBI.
People are just walking in and out of this like investigation. Yep. It feels like, okay,
it really continue. Does. So they get Mike Dennehy to play the sheik. He had a beard and like in pictures he has like a little bit darker of a complexion than the other pasty white people, but like definitely not Middle Eastern dark complexion, you know? And he's just making grunting noises as a way to like pretend he's speaking Arabic.
He's like, I'm not going to speak Arabic, but I'm so powerful I can just kind of grunt and get my way.
I think he's like genuinely trying to imitate Arabic, but it's definitely not good. Yeah.
So it's a white American talking to other white Americans pretending to be Arabic.
Yeah. Probably
Okay.
talking through Mel. They bought a $37 poorly fitting robe and keffiyeh, which is the headdress that sheiks, or what we perceive as sheiks. It's just like the headdress with like the coils
That's so
kind of on top.
okay. Yeah.
And a pair of sunglasses and boom, chic. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
That's fun. So we got a scam
So if you're still looking for a last second Halloween idea,
for next year.
could you imagine?
Oh God, no! Please don't. That was
Please
a joke. Legally.
It's like a culturally and spiritually.
Yeah. So the first mark of ABSCAM is gonna happen at the Plaza Hotel. I'm not 100% sure who this first mark was. I tried to do some digging. It wasn't super apparent. But so it's at the Plaza Hotel. Mel wants to have a lot of fancy food at the meeting and like Dom Perignon and like all this stuff to like really emulate that the sheik is super wealthy, right? But the FBI budget didn't allow for that. They had already kind of capped out. And so what they did instead, the FBI just brought in a spread from a New York City like Jewish deli. Like bagels and cream cheese and lox and all of this stuff.
Right.
And I don't know if it was the FBI agents or Mel that was like, what the fuck is this? How, like, how do we even tell them that this is what the sheik is eating? And Mel's like, don't worry, actually, I got it. Well, the sheik would never be able to eat this at home. So whenever he's in New York City, he has to have New York City deli food.
Well, what you don't understand is they don't have a traditional Jewish deli in the United Arab Emirates. And so when he's here, he has to
have some lox.
Yeah. Lox, capers, red onion, creme cheese. You know? Everything
cheese.
bagel. Everything bagel.
Everything bagel.
He's later on going to get some brisket, you know? Like it's...
You know?
That's Mel operates like I would. I was like, now hold on now. Anything can be justified. Just give me a second. I got it.
That's literally every single turn of this story. It's bananas.
Mel's like, I understand that I have like a fixed income now, so I want to jack up the food the FBI is getting us.
Yes.
And they're like, best we can do is breakfast foods.
He was like, fuck. Where is this quote that I have? Melvin Weinberg is the scam in ABSCAM. Like, because it's
absolutely he is.
Fucking beautiful.
And so this is the FBI is now running an operation to try to get people to agree to a scam that they are running.
Yep.
To catch them for scamming.
To catch them for dealing stolen art or admitting to dealing in stolen securities.
Okay.
And stuff like that. That's the goal at this point. Also, the FBI is fully aware that this is fucking ridiculous because they're like, they know that they have no budget. And so they have their mark in, and I don't know if it was like one person or two people, but in United States of Scandal, some of the people that were like running the scam were like, we had to take turns going to the bathroom to laugh because we literally could not hold it together because this was so fucking ridiculous.
It's like one of those moments where it's like, just take the food away. It looks better if there's no food at all, as opposed to these plastic trays.
What the hell is this? Yeah. And one of them says, so that was our debut for bringing out the sheik. And thank God we had an idiot there who thought it was great. So they got the first guy.
I am afraid that it would work on me. I'm not going to lie. I'd be like, oh, hell yeah.
Say anything with enough confidence.
Yes.
I'll believe you.
I love locks.
I'll believe you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a public school teacher, but I'm like, for free? Us? Okay. You can do some embezzling if you want.
Mel did say his time in the service. I think he did some scamming while he was in the
Navy.
Yeah, in the Navy. And he said, if you walk around with a big group of men and then act confident, they'll give you anything. No one will question you.
Good. Amazing.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and take this tank out.
Yeah. Fucking incredible. There's one story he has that I didn't write down, but he said, I don't remember where he was, but he was somewhere where there were Japanese forces as well. And he was looking for a whorehouse or like a brothel or whatever. And he says the word whorehouse. And so he was like, he's like kind of sneaking around and he gets through these bushes and he comes face to face with these like Japanese like military people. And they just kind of stare at each other. And then like Mel starts backing away back into the bushes, and then they start backing away back into the bushes. And he was like, those people were also looking for the brothel. He's a phenomenal phenomenal
A
storyteller.
player recognizes a player.
Yeah.
Game knows game.
Truly, absolutely bananas.
God, I bet he delivered that story so well too.
Yeah.
Like I bet the story's so raunchy it could peel the paint, you know? But like I bet
I
he
would
delivered
get
it
a whiskey
incredible.
with him.
Oh, 100%
you know?
I would.
This man in every interview I ever saw with him is smoking a cigar.
Yeah, I'm gonna start smoking the cigars just to hang out with him some more.
Yeah. So within about 2 months of running ABSCAM, they had recovered 2 stolen paintings worth a combined $2 million. And in those beginning 2 months, through Mel, the FBI was also introduced to criminals dealing in fake stocks and bonds. And so they were also able to stop the sale of nearly $600 million of fraudulent securities.
Whoa.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Ask not what you can scam your country out of. Ask what you can scam for your country.
Yeah.
It'll work. We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it. So let's talk about some definitions really quick.
Sure.
Do you know what a sting operation is?
Entrapment. No, I have no idea.
They're very close.
Okay.
Entrapment is a crime.
Sure.
Sting.
Not when the government does it.
Yeah. Things get really fuzzy. So according to the DOJ, a sting operation most oftentimes is made up of 4 elements. 1, an opportunity or enticement to commit a crime, either a real crime or a crime fabricated by the police. 2, a targeted likely offender or group of offenders for a particular crime type. 3, an undercover officer, agent, or surrogate, like an informant. And 4, a gotcha climax when the operation ends in arrests.
I was at a Halloween party last weekend.
Yeah.
And there was this woman dressed up as Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Incredible.
So I go up to her,
Yes.
right? And I ask, "Are you Bob's from Bob's Burgers?" And she goes, "No, I'm the deli owner at the opening scene of White Chicks." And I go, "You mean the one that's legitimately selling ice cream?" She goes, "Yeah." And I go, "That's so weirdly specific." As I'm Ongo
What do you mean it's gay Halloween?
Exactly. What do you mean you're the actually innocent storefront owner from White Chicks?
I'm going to start doing that with every Halloween costume. I'm going to have the most obscure reference when I'm clearly something else.
It's the best. I'm clearly Edna mode. No, I'm not.
Yes.
It's the best.
Yeah, 100%. So that's a sting operation. Is like you think this group is committing a crime or is going to commit a crime, and you fabricate a situation where you catch them in the crime. Most often with like drug dealers, you know, and like you see them take out the badge and they're like, "Gotcha," because he offered drugs.
Right. Ha ha ha! I was trying to buy drugs, and then when you said, "Well, I can sell you drugs," that was the crime.
Gotcha. And then, according to the Department of Justice, entrapment is the inducement or encouragement of an individual to engage in illegal activity in which he or she would otherwise not be disposed to engage.
Right.
So the difference is a sting operation, you need to have some proof that they would do this or are doing this or have done this. And entrapment is, would you?
I think the difference is, do you have a really cool judge or not? Because I remember trying to figure this out when I did my Draft Dodgers episode of people who were burning draft cards. And one of them tried to organize the leftists in Minneapolis and really struggled. And when the sting option was a success and they got arrested, he was like, "Hey, they're actually so incompetent. There's no way they could have pulled this off if I wasn't actively building this scam." Right. And I think many of them did get off for entrapment, essentially, that like they would have never gone down this life of crime if they weren't so easily prodded down.
We're going to have a whole conversation about this later.
Yay.
That being said, do you want to refresh your drink?
I would love
yes.
that.
Okay, perfect.
It's a sting operation when you do it. It's entrapment when it
happens to me. Yes. Hey, yes.
Don't tell my students this definition. And we're back. That was good. That was fun for us.
That was fun. That was a good little catch up.
Hopefully you guys are also having fun. We're having a great evening.
Here we are. Okay, we just defined a sting operation
and
versus
entrapment.
Can you remind the listeners what those two things
Sting
were?
operation is when you're guilty. Entrapment is in when you wouldn't have done it if they didn't make you do it.
Yeah, they didn't present it.
Is the person leading the operation for the FBI a dweeb and along for the ride, or powerfully charismatic and getting you to do things you would otherwise not do?
Mel Weinberg is the main one that I think people are talking to.
So the former or the latter?
Yeah. Yes.
You don't know which one's which, do you?
The latter.
Okay.
The latter.
Powerfully charismatic.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Mel.
Yes.
Yeah. obviously powerfully charismatic. He was a career con man. And then the FBI was like, hear me out.
And he was like, as long as we can order champagne, lox and bagels, that's what I meant.
Yeah. That's fine too, I guess. Okay.
Dom Perignon. Love it.
Yep. So 1976. New Jersey voters vote to allow gambling within the borders of Atlantic City.
Okay.
Obviously great news for someone. I'm not sure who.
I was unfamiliar that Atlantic City existed before gambling, if I'm being completely honest.
I also was not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that until right now. So
Sorry.
that really just...
I just understand it as like kind of the Reno of the East Coast.
Yeah, yes.
No offense to Atlantic City, but...
It's the Las Vegas of the East Coast. That was literally how it was branded too,
Okay.
of like being like, we want to bring like that economy or like that tourist attraction here. So Atlantic City it was. So some of the fun things with Atlantic City that I can explain now are that while it was kind of forming and people were building casinos there, you had to apply to get a gambling license from, I think, the state of New Jersey. And in order to do that, there was some stipulation that you had to like break ground on the building, I think, at least, or makes a certain amount of progress on the building before they would grant you the license. So there is a considerable amount of risk involved. A gamble, if you will.
We should get London Investments in on this.
And so you need an investor who's like willing to take that risk or a whole lot of other things. So that's going to become a thing here in a second. I'm unsure on the timeline here. Remember, ABSCAM kind of started in 78. So 76 is when that vote happens. And now we're kind of well into the process of building Atlantic City up. William Rosenberg comes through the radar of ABSCAM. And so they target him as their next subject. And he suggests when they're like, what do you have for our sheik to invest in? He was like, why not invest in some of these casinos that are going up? And Mel Weinberg is like, that's not illegal. That's not fun. Like, I can't get you on any crimes for that. So like,
what is this, a legitimate business proposition?
Shut the fuck up.
You used to be cool.
Yeah. So Mel and whoever else is in the room with him is like, okay, I mean, but like, isn't that still really risky because we don't know if we're going to get a gambling license? And William Rosenberg is like, don't worry about that. I have a connection. I know Mayor Angelo Ericetti, and he is going to be able to get us that gambling license.
Don't worry, friends. It's a legitimate business operation, but we're still allowed to commit some crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you invest. We'll make sure that the rest goes.
I know how much you love that.
Is that good for you? So.
Is this what you want? And it's them committing crime.
And Mel is like, finally.
We're in a little bit of a weird mood tonight, and I kind of love that.
Yeah,
that's
fine.
Always bodes well for the Patreon when you and I kind of come in at this frequency.
Especially when I combine this with some other things. Then it gets really fun.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Okay. So then they're like, would you just introduce us to Mayor Angelo Ericetti so that we can like really know how solid this is, like how willing he is to actually make sure that you get the gambling license? Because I think part of that gambling license was like inspecting the building maybe or something like that. So really there should be no way that someone could guarantee this ahead of all of the investment and stuff. Mayor Angelo Ericetti of Camden, New Jersey was the first government official to be caught in ABSCAM. He accepted a bribe of $50,000 in exchange for obtaining a casino license in Atlantic City for Abdul Enterprises. As a thank you, the sheik gave Angelo a quote-unquote, this is not my words, tribal dagger.
What?
A very like bejeweled, shiny, whatever.
Mel, a.k.a. the sheik.
No, Mel is not the sheik.
Right.
The sheik is a different
it's
guy.
some other white guy.
Yes.
Gave
I'm
him
not
like,
sure
this is a tribal dagger, and it says
Thank you so
cuisine
much.
art on it.
Well, it was just something Mel had bought for $2.75 at the flea market, but he had like cleaned it. I don't know.
Cleaned it and then dirtied it enough to make it look rustic.
I love that Angelo Ericetti probably like had that on display.
Oh, in a
forever.
case. Absolutely. On the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then Angelo Ericetti introduces Abdul Enterprises to Senator Harrison Williams.
Nice. Okay. Here we go.
And then later, Michael Myers. And then later, these are representatives. Representative Michael Myers, and then Representative Raymond Lederer, and then Representative Frank Thomas Jr., and the list goes on. I believe he introduced Abdul Enterprises to about 30 plus people.
He entraps the entire New Jersey congressional delegation, doesn't he? Plus most of Delaware, Philadelphia, and lower state New York.
I mean, a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
We used to be a proper country.
Yeah. I think at some point, Mel and the FBI are talking with Angelo, and they're like, hey, the more people you bring us, we'll give you a cut of what we get. And so Angelo was like, I'm going to bring every person I know in through here.
Oh, we just got to get these idiots who we've elected to Congress to break the law. They don't even know they're breaking the law. You just wave a couple cash rounds at them, give them a lox bagel, and they say, where do I sign?
Much like public school teachers.
Yeah, 100%. I'll do a lot for a bagel breakfast bar, okay? You have a bagel breakfast bar, I'll drive an hour and a half to your PD.
If there's locks on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
How long has this lock's been out? You picked it up at 6 a.m. and it's now 9 a.m.? No, that's fine.
That seems
good.
totally okay.
It's just raw fish. Oh, capers? Yum, yum, yum.
Yum, 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 yum. Yes.
Can't wait to turn and talk all day.
So Angelo Arricchetti inadvertently becomes an assistant to the FBI completely unknowingly. He believes he is really in on it. And the fun thing is that Mel Weinberg says when he met Angelo Arricchetti, he was like, it's a pity I didn't meet that guy before I turned informant because I think we would have been best buds. Like this guy walks and talks like all of my underground criminal friends. He's incredible. This is the mayor of a big city in New Jersey.
Him and I, we would have cut it up.
Yeah.
Bring him, me, and John Wayne. You'd be shocked what we can do.
We would take out that bank. So basically, at this point, the goal of the FBI...
He's like, no. You rob the place, and I'll pretend to be the mayor, okay?
Yes. Yeah. Who's going to have the beret and a gun?
Right, exactly.
The goal at this point, I think, is to sting everyone in politics who Angelo thought would be interested in this kind of a deal. Not necessarily to convict anyone of a known crime, because why would you do that? So Senator Harrison Williams is a U.S. Senator, obviously. He's a Democrat from New Jersey. He served 1959 to 1982. He was known for being a champion of organized labor and social welfare. Early on in this whole ABSCAM thing, I think the FBI rented out like a 65-foot yacht and just invited kind of everyone, and they all were talking. And
a literal criminal magnet.
Yeah. And one of the FBI agents who is undercover walks up to him and is talking, and everyone kind of knows this undercover agent as being the representative from Abdul Enterprises. And the guy, Senator Williams, is like, yeah, so, I mean, I have this titanium mine. And
Senator Williams, advocate for the working class, is like, I have a titanium mine.
Okay, maybe he has a titanium mine and he needs a titanium processing facility, something like that.
Also like, I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. I knew it immediately, and I knew you would, and I knew you would.
That's the
fire
correct
away,
error.
fire away.
Yeah. Fire away, fire away.
Ricochet.
Yep, there it is. Shut up. We're going to be here forever. And so basically this undercover FBI agent is like, what investment are you trying to propose to Abdul Enterprises? And so Senator Williams is like, I have this titanium mine and I would like an investment in the titanium mine. And it's actually going to do like a lot of good things. And titanium's used in tanks and all of this stuff. And then the FBI agent's kind of prodding like, okay, like why would we invest in you and not maybe a titanium processing facility that already is like up and running and ready? And Senator Williams goes, I have the ear of President Jimmy Carter, and I can make sure that we get government contracts to get titanium for the Department of Justice to make all of these like submarines and tanks and stuff.
And he's like, corruption.
Yeah.
I'm going to put undue influence on our elected officials.
And the FBI agent is like, Jesus fucking Christ.
We got him.
Yeah. But there's no cameras on the yacht. So what they do need to bring
A convenient excuse.
Previously, I think every other hotel room that they had been meeting anyone in is like completely wired with cameras and bugging devices and everything. And so they bug this hotel room. They bring Senator Harrison Williams in. And the beautiful part about having Mel or whatever FBI agent act as like a representative of this sheik is that you then have someone on the inside who is walking the mark to the room where the sheik is and saying like, okay, to get the sheik to invest in your thing, you're going to really want to push your political connections because he's interested in like that kind of thing. And like gearing this guy up to kind
Make
of
sure
like
you mention the crime you're willing to do.
make sure that you present why you're different from other investments. And
But
like,
is that coaching,
exactly.
into a crime?
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. And so they get him on tape basically saying the same things that he had told to that FBI agent on the yacht. Oh, yeah. The other thing is that he had a concealed investment in that titanium mine of 18%. Like his name was not listed on it, so no one could claim it was insider whatever. But any government contracts that came to the mine, he would see direct profit from.
Okay.
Another reason why that's super not cool. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
He wanted the sheik to invest $100 million in the mine.
In 1976?
78, but yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so that happens. I believe a prosecutor in New Jersey is like, sees some of the transcripts from these conversations and are like, hey, you can't do that. You can't say things like that. Like you have to follow a specific strategy of like events so that I can actually bring this to court and succeed, because right now it's looking a lot like entrapment. Like, right, I think his name is Plaza, but he says you need to have video evidence of everything. You need to have video of the mark physically taking the money from you.
Okay.
And then you also need to have video evidence of the mark saying of their own volition, like what they will give you for this money, basically. And
Couple of instructions.
couple of instructions. And I believe, and then after this, they kind of revamp, I think. I have the time. The timeline is a little mixed up.
Too many things to try to get.
No, it's that Harrison kind of fell in their lap.
Okay.
And now they're like, okay, previously we had been saying like, we want this art investment, like what stolen art do you have? Or like, we want these securities, what stolen securities do you have, whatever. And so Agent Anthony Amoroso, I'm not sure timeline-wise when he comes in, but Anthony Amoroso starts playing the sheik, because I think he actually does speak Arabic.
Okay.
He may have come in a lot earlier, to be fair, but...
Is this the mayor? No. What was the mayor's name?
That was Angelo Ericetti.
Okay. You can see how I thought we were kind of talking about the same person.
I can now, except I'm reading it and Ericetti starts with an E and Amoroso starts with an A.
Okay, not how I am hearing it.
That's fine. That's totally fine. So Anthony Amoroso, some sources seem to disagree on if he was the Arabic speaking agent or not. But anyway, he comes in at this point. They also get another undercover agent who would be brought in at some point to be a second sheik. So now they have two really wealthy sheiks. And the ruse is that the sheik wants to buy off these politicians in exchange for asylum in the United States or immigration papers in the United States. And some of the reasonings for why they wanted these immigration papers varied from person to person, but a lot of times it was because of the political and social unrest in the Middle East. We either want ourselves to get citizenship or temporary residence or whatever approved, or we want to bring someone over and we need your help with that.
So I'll give you money directly into your corruption corporation,
yes,
and then you'll sponsor me. And they're like, well, that's easy because it doesn't cost me anything to sponsor you, and then I get money illegally.
Yep, 50 grand.
I think I'd have a hard time saying no.
50 grand is hard to say no to. So yeah, congressmen can give a personal relief bill, which would give legal residence to the person whose name is on the bill.
Naturally.
And so that's what they're asking for. It made sense at the time due to the political turmoil in the Middle East. And like, hey, we have someone we want to get into the country. We're worried about revolution. Can you help? I believe Harrison, Senator Harrison, was also offered this deal at some point because he took the $50K and then said, I will do everything in my power to advance your permanency. Just a crazy quote.
And serve the people of New Jersey.
Yes, and the unions that I deeply support unless they're at my titanium mine.
Naturally.
The next big mark Representative Michael Ozzie Myers, who is a U.S. representative, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, served 1976 to 1980. He took...
I'm just laughing. All these people's careers seem to end shortly after their time with ABSCAM.
Yep. Very, very true. Very, very bright of you, Grant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Ozzie Myers took $50,000 to arrange permanent residence for a sheik or the sheik, whatever, who wanted to look after investments in the U.S. This is a quote he's caught on camera saying, quote, "Let me say this to you. You're going about this the right way. I'm going to tell you something real simple and short. Money talks in this business. Bullshit walks. Works the same way down in Washington."
Okay, that's actually so cool. Like that, I don't
It's
speak
quoted.
that way. That's a really cool way to speak.
That's just, it's such a quotable moment. Money talks and bullshit walks.
And it works the same down in Washington. Okay, a little warm in here.
Yeah. It was a privilege to be done by him.
Do you want me to talk or walk?
Yeah.
Again, another line from...
The hockey book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was a privilege to be done by him. You said it, not me.
I think it was actually the owner of the laundromat that got conned by Mel Weinberg.
Right. Just to watch him work was a piece of art.
It was just incredible. I'm so glad I gave that like $10,000 to him.
I love you. I want to take you away from all this.
Thank you. Me too.
Welcome.
Yeah. According to Mel, however, when asked after the fact, Ozzie Myers was one of the easiest targets of the group.
He was actually already doing so much crime, he just kind of folded us in.
This is the quote from Mel. Ozzie Myers came in and gave a big speech, like bullshit walks, money talks, you're buying me. In fact, we couldn't get him to shut up. He kept going. He wasn't going to leave that room without that money, and he picked up the money and picked up himself and took off.
So, he provided us so much evidence. We were able to kind of wrap it all up in a day.
I think with Ozzie Myers and the next one, Representative Raymond Lederer, the FBI agent Amoroso and Mel were in the hotel room after they left, and they were like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, these politicians are corrupt.
I'd vote for him, though. I'd vote for him.
Ozzie?
Yeah.
He's in jail again for voter fraud.
Oh.
I think
He just feels like a fighter.
I think it was 2023 or 2024, maybe, that he was sentenced to 2.5 years for.
Never give up what you love. Never give up what you love.
Okay. Representative Raymond Lederer, he was a U.S. representative, Democrat from Pennsylvania, 1977 to 1981. Also accepted that $50,000 for the immigration. And according to Mel, the other easiest mark. Apparently similar to Ozzie, he came in with a big speech and said something along the lines of, quote, "You're no Boy Scout and I'm no Boy Scout." And he takes the money and leaves.
We're all filthy criminals here.
Apparently he was nervous, though, because he turned the wrong way walking out of the hotel room, and Mel had to go out and show him to the elevator.
Humiliating.
I would bury myself after
you
that.
would. I'd have to
I would
find
walk
you.
into the ocean. Okay, Representative Richard Kelly, U.S. Representative from a Republican from Florida, 1975 to 1981. He accepted a bribe of $25,000. What are you doing, Richard? What are you doing? $25,000?
Republicans aren't good at math.
The bribe was $50,000. Everyone else got $50,000. What were you doing? He actually. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Money talks, bullshit walks, but in the sunshine shape, it's all 50% off.
He took the money and stuffed it into his pants, and then he stood up. There's video footage of this. Stuffs it into his pants and then pats it down and then looks up to the people in the room and says, "Does it show?"
Does this bribe make me look fat? I think that's the title of this episode. Does this bribe make me look fat? He really is from the Sunshine State. Because New Jersey, Pennsylvania Democrats, they don't give two shits about, they're hardworking blue-collar peeps. Mm-hmm. But some suntan neo-fascist Republican from Florida, he has hips to worry about.
And so another easy one per Mel, the third easiest. According to Mel, Richard said something like, quote, "If you knew how poor I was, you'd cry for me." Mel said, quote, he was pitiful.
Me to you guys, when you Venmo me for the drinks I ordered and then I drank. If you knew how poor I was, you'd cry for me.
Just makes it even sadder that he only got 20%.
25,000.
Yeah.
Got 50% of the bribe. Because it doesn't change the amount of jail time he gets.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I actually want you to know, in my heart, that is what my villain origin story is.
Yeah.
Not getting caught, not ending up in a position where I have to take a bribe in the first place, being in a jail for even just like 18 months, and understanding I was dumb enough to take half as much money as others.
I would walk into the ocean if I
yeah.
ever found that out. If I get convicted of a crime with a group, my crime better be just as bad as everybody else's. You know, like, or I get off completely scot-free.
That's the most avoidant attachment thing you've ever said.
Okay, bitch. It was so avoidant attachment what you said to me. Grant sent me a text. I woke up in the morning. Not really. I checked my phone for the first time. And I had this text from Grant that was just like.
From when I was driving to work in the morning, just for the record, listener.
I'm at the end of this book and they're all like, oh my God, I love you. Oh my God, I love you. And it's like just so cringe. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Grant. Like, you're right, but goddamn.
Well, the mystery's gone. The writing's bad.
The
I don't know what else to tell you.
The calls from coming in from inside the house. Okay,
there's crime we have to get to.
There's crime, yeah. Representative Frank Thompson, a U.S. Representative Democrat from New Jersey, 1955 to 1980. According to Mel, Frank Thompson is an old-time pro as a congressman. Like all congressmen, he talks, but he double talks. He says nothing. And so I didn't write a ton down for him. I think it was like, they kind of had trouble pinning him down because he was like, he never would really say that he would take the bribe, but it was pretty clear that he like kind of would. And then he did, but like
it was never clear that he was going to take the bribe, but we were never in doubt if he was going to or not. Like we knew it, and then the money was gone. Something
like that. Yeah. Representative John Jenrette. He was a U.S. representative, a Democrat from South Carolina, 1975 to 1980. He was asked to introduce a bill to allow the wealthy Arab to immigrate to the U.S. John Jenrette actually denied it 4 times, but ended up accepting some kind of like loan or something. He accepted money somehow, yeah. And so here's what we need to know about John Jenrette. He is a liberal Kennedy guy. His constituents were on the poorer side, lots of factory workers, lots of farmers. And they, like the FBI and Abdul Enterprises, quote unquote, said that they were going to help get a defunct factory back to work and 400 people back to work in his district. And we'll help you do this if you help the sheik.
Oh, that's entrapment. That's entrapment, right?
He also just seems like a shitty guy, so that's a little hard.
Oh, gotcha. You're like, I'm not rooting for him.
Like, yes, the facts, I'm like, but also, okay, whatever. So he was offered 50 grand on the spot and then 50 grand when the bill was introduced to get the sheik in. And
they offered him $100,000.
50 grand then is over $180,000.
No, he said 50 grand and then a second 50 grand,
so
right?
that would have been what, $360.
And the schmuck from Florida got 25.
If you knew how poor I was,
you'd cry.
You'd cry for me.
But do I look fat with this bribe?
Yeah. So a lot of what I'm reading right here comes from the man who is serving as general counsel to like the House of Representatives. So aka the lawyer for Congress. And so the lawyer for Congress had a lot of real cold takes towards the end. And so that I think that's another reason why I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, but he basically said if John Jenrette turned that deal down and it came out that he turned that deal down, his constituents would hate him.
Yeah.
Exactly. However, he is on tape saying, if I take it, I'm going to take it, or I'll have a lawyer take it to further cover my ass. So he knows he's doing a crime. And then he says, quote, I've got larceny in my blood. I'll take it in a goddamn minute.
Oh, stop indicting yourself.
Yeah, stop it. Just stop talking. If you're not going to take the money.
It's the only rule you really need to learn in high school civics. Stop talking.
Yes. Another Representative John M. Murphy, who is a Democrat from New York, 1963 to 1981. According to Mel, he was the smartest of the group in that it was really hard to catch him like saying incriminating things. Apparently they were trying to get him to say like the amount of money or something like that. And I don't know, he made some like one-off comment that didn't exactly commit to anything, but then he turned and winked at Mel. And so to Mel, it was like, that's so fucking obvious, but the camera didn't catch it because it's the 80s and or like the 70s, and the cameras are all like
and it's not like the microphone's going to catch a wink.
Yeah. And so I don't remember how exactly they caught him. I think he may have actually gotten off on the bribery charges and then gotten convicted of a smaller crime. But
all I'm hearing is Wendy Williams' version of "You're a Native New Yorker." Have you heard that at all?
Yes.
No one opens the door. Dot, dot, da, 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 da.
Yes.
You're a native New Yorker, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that money would go. Put it in my bank account."
I need to watch
Little vamping. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's from I'm not going to explain myself.
Okay, good. Senator Larry Pressler is a U.S. senator who was a Democrat and then maybe now a Republican from South Dakota. He served from 1979 to 1997.
Whoa.
The reason he did that is because he said no.
Oh, well, good for him.
I know. Initially, he ran on, quote unquote, cleaning up Congress. He's known for his Boy Scout feel to him. Someone is quoted in United States of Scandal saying that he looked like an innocent in a den of politics. The FBI agent trying to get him to take the bribe, like on the video camera footage, said, quote, 50 grand is no problem. Putting that kind of money out, I don't care what you want to call it. If you want to call it a campaign contribution, you want to call it, I don't know, and then Larry responds, you can't make a commitment to do anything in these campaigns. Indeed, I wouldn't feel intellectually honest doing that.
Whoa. Not me having to compliment a Republican, but like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to say in that situation.
Yes. Yeah. And so
you're like, you're welcome to give me money or not give me money. I will not promise anything for that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm happy to take gifts, but I will never promise that I'm going to change how I'm voting.
And then he said, quote, I can't promise that I would introduce X bill for X person if something happens. I mean, that would be something you wouldn't want either. So he says no. Senator James Florio also says no. He was a Democrat from New Jersey, 1975 to 1990, and then he would go on to be governor of New Jersey, 1990 to 94. He also did not accept the bribe. Also did not accept John Murtha of Pennsylvania. Well, I think he actually did say he wanted to accept the money to improve his local economy, but he didn't take it. Yeah. So there are some good ones, like some.
I mean, none of them reported the bribery scheme running, but they were all like, I can't take the bribe.
I can't take it. Yeah.
It's just not a good time in my life.
Yes, exactly. So now we're into the next section called Breaking the Story. At some point, the FBI just gets overwhelmed. At least that's how United States of Scandal tells it. Other sources say it's because the attorney general that previously was like, hey, you got to start doing this better. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to take to court. That he just started getting really uppity about it. And there was already some tension between the attorney general's office and the FBI. And so there was some tension there. And that caused John Good, the supervising agent, to say, like, we did a good job. We need to stop.
Let's go and wind it down.
Cut it. Yeah. And so the plan is to bring it to a close. They were going to approach each of their marks individually, everyone who accepted a bribe, and explain what had happened. Okay. And, hey, we have you on tape doing this. You now have the option to, like, plead guilty or whatever. And the hope was that at least some of them would come in and plead guilty. On February 2nd, 1980, before the FBI can get to the politicians, some politicians had heard from a journalist that they were breaking a story involving John Jenneret accepting bribe money. John Clark, who was John Jenneret's top aide, had called the Jenneret household to ask other John about it. Right. And John Jenneret's wife picked up and said, sorry, can't talk. The FBI's here.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Okay. It's going down, friends.
Yeah. Sorry, can't talk. Crazy that she picked up the phone,
that's so
honestly.
Hi, well, no. Yeah, we're being raided. We'll try to do dinner on Sunday. That sounds great. Yeah, okay. Love to the wife and kids. Okay, goodbye. Where's all the diamonds? Well, how would I know?
It was your day to watch them, Larry. And then on February 3rd, 1980, New York Times breaks the story. I think maybe NBC also broke it around this, whatever. Someone breaks the story, and it is called the biggest scandal since Watergate. politicians are pissed because they're believing that the FBI had entrapped them. And even prosecutors are worried that once this story started, they would end up with half of Congress, which is just like...
Yeah. I mean, also, not the worst thing in the world if we lose half of Congress, but...
Then what? You know? Yeah.
It's also complicated, too, because these people were kind of in a win-win, but it's a crime situation where it's like they got $50,000. That's huge.
Yep.
Unless you're from New York, $100,000, or Florida, nothing.
You owe them money.
Right, exactly. And they're crying.
Yes.
And in exchange for money, which they get to help out a well-connected, financially influential refugee, political asylum seeker,
who then theoretically will contribute to their campaign forever.
But they're like, oh, I get money, which I like, and I get to help rescue someone from like a bad situation. I like the fact that this is the exact textbook definition of taking a bribe is inconvenient.
It's very inconvenient for me personally. And so then the media breaks that ABSCAM stands for Arab scam instead of Abdul scam. And so and then it breaks that initially, instead of having an Arabic speaker, they had a white man dressed in a cheap costume of a sheik. All things that aren't good.
Was that an issue for America in 1978? Is
an issue for somebody at least?
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm glad that it was, but I will also say I'm shocked because America's about to elect Ronald Reagan.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know,
SNL made a super racist skit about it.
I'm so sure they did.
Yeah. And so they have on United States of Scandal, they have an Arabic journalist, an Arabic investigative journalist there, and she's talking about like, if it's okay for the FBI to do it, then it's okay for television to do it. And if it's okay for television to do it, it's okay for the everyday person to do it. And that's really unfortunate, you know?
Like actually like structural racism.
Yes. Yeah. I think we have words for it now. All of those who were caught, I believe, pleaded entrapment. But to do so, they needed to, A, prove that the money was funding legislation, and B, that this was not something they would have done unless the FBI had offered it to them. And both of those things are kind of hard to do.
Okay.
So because of the cash, also there's no easy way to like track the money because they had been paid.
Where did it go?
Cash. Yeah. So Walter Cronkite then called Larry Pressler, the first senator that we talked about that had turned it down. He called Larry Pressler a hero. And Larry Pressler's response was, quote, "I turned down an illegal contribution. Whatever have we come to if that's considered heroic?"
Oh, wow.
And then he later says when talking to Jake Tapper, celebrating public officials for not committing a crime is a low bar.
Heavy with the truth. Heavy with the truth.
Oh, yikes. John Jenneret, who is the one who denied it 4 times and then accepted it after they were like, we will bring this defunct factory back, claims that the FBI knew he had a drinking problem and they took advantage of him and got him drunk before offering him the money.
Do you think that's true?
I think they probably met more times than just that one time. But I don't know. I theoretically find the videos. I didn't do that much digging, so I don't know.
Also, as a person who genetically comes from a family of drinkers, it's not my fault, I have a drinking problem, and then there we were drinking. Actually, babes, you still hold full responsibility for drinking. You still
do have some accountability
there. Unless they waterboarded you with Heineken, like you are liable.
Crazy. What if it's Heineken Zero? That would be funny.
Pride Month is just 8 months away. Like it is what I'm preferencing.
Interesting. So you want Heineken Zero waterboarding you or just Heineken waterboarding you?
I actually don't like Heineken at all. So let's start there.
Yeah, well, you're the one that said it.
Okay.
So what do you want to be waterboarded with, Grant?
Here's the crucial thing. Because I don't like Heineken, I also wouldn't like to be waterboarded because I'm talking about torture.
Wait. So if I like Heineken, then I like being waterboarded.
No, it's actually really hard to entrap you in this saying right now because I don't know where you're at.
Good.
I don't want to be tortured, and I especially don't want to be tortured with Heineken. So if you like Heineken, you also don't want to be tortured.
That's shocking news.
Does that make sense?
No.
You can like B and still not like A, and if you don't like A, none of it works.
I don't understand that.
I don't think anyone's going to say anyways. It's fine. I think we're going to cut it at I don't want to be waterboarded at Heineken. But this isn't good.
That's so funny that you think you have a say.
I know I don't, but I think I come across better in that segment.
That seems fair. I also have no shame anymore, so that's fine.
Any content for these slaps? No, we're kidding.
Okay. Richard doesn't show Kelly once he realized he was caught.
What did you say?
Richard doesn't show Kelly because he was the one that stuffed it in his pants.
I heard Regis and Kelly, and I was like, I know I'm not hearing it right. So just go ahead and take it back to the start for me. Places everyone. Hit me with it. Richard, I'm so poor you would cry, but does it make my hips look fat? I haven't even eating well.
Kelly. Yeah, 100%. Once he realized he was... I forgot how funny this is. Once he realized he was caught, he made like a public speech about how he was actually doing his own investigation when he was caught taking the money.
It's giving Lady Gaga going to the Capitol after January 6th to do her own investigation.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, no, you're not. Like, we love you.
You just
no,
wanted to see, and that's fine.
Yes, you're a billionaire. You kind of get to do that kind of stuff, you
Truly.
know?
Mel then said, I mean, I could have thought of a better excuse than that. And it's like, Mel, of course you could. You're a criminal con artist. You're a career con artist. What do you mean? Of course you could have.
You learned in first grade to run away when your two marks are talking to each other.
He's just learning now.
He's like, I understand that they think I've broken the law, and I'm going to reflect on it. Terrible answer.
Terrible answer. Okay. Now we're in court. Unfortunately, the videotapes convince every single jury. Because video is also new at this point. So it's also very, I think, like glitz and glam to be like, oh my God, I can see the crime happening. And also, these guys were not fucking subtle on video. Like, they are acting like classic fucking politicians.
And the TV that they're rolling in will eventually be dispersed to all elementary schools so you can watch Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Dude, some of the like court drawings, there's like 5 TVs facing every direction because everyone needs to be able to see it. So there's one in front of prosecution, one in front of defense, like a couple in front of jury,
Screens
one in front of the
can
George.
only be so big.
So it's like,
Press play on 3, 2. It's and go, and then we do it on go, not on 1. Okay, so 3.
Wow, I hadn't thought about the logistics of that.
Let's norm on the points we're giving the children.
Stacey, you can't keep giving Jimmy negative 500 points when he threatens you with a chicken tender.
Jimmy sweeping up the mess he made is at most point neutral.
It's at most point neutral.
Conversations I was a part of, Maia.
That's so funny. That's fraud. It's just like you realize that you get points for cleaning a mess up that you made.
I actually think
crazy.
it's America's emerging AI industry, but whatever you want to say.
So everyone who accepted a bribe was convicted. And then I think most of those convictions were then appealed, and all of them were upheld upon appeal.
Sure.
So our court system really said, nah,
okay,
dog. Mel was the star witness for the prosecution. We're going to get sad for a second. Trigger warning, there's going to be a mention of a suicide. During Richard Kelly's appeal, accusations are made against Mel by Marie, who was his wife at the time. So at this point, what they're trying to do is discredit the star witness, right? And so they are saying that Marie was demanding a divorce and claimed that Mel had committed perjury, lying on the stand, saying that he had not accepted any gifts from any of the marks, when in fact she believed he had accepted $45,000 in payoffs from one of the ABSCAM defendants, and he had also given away expensive suits and furniture to FBI agents.
Furniture and suits, by the way.
Which is crazy.
Weird things to market in.
In my head, it's really just like, no, you need to fit the vision. And this Hilton hotel room is not doing
like
it.
a sleazeball enough.
Yes. Yeah. And then, sad moment.
Sorry.
On January 28th, why were you apologizing?
I was still snorting from the idea of a 1970s ABSCAM living room.
That's so fair.
Sorry.
Okay, January 28th, 1982, she is found. Marie Weinberg is found after committing suicide. She left a note saying, "My sin was wanting to love and be loved, nothing more. But a campaign is being made against me by Mel to discredit me. I haven't the strength to fight him anymore. Everything I've attested to is the truth." It's a little tough because I don't believe her and Mel had a good relationship for a lot of their marriage. Like, it was fine. I think he had adopted her son that she had previously. So there is just a lot of nuance and complexity to the situation. And I think she was probably pretty depressed.
Sure.
Her lawyer will come out and say that he doesn't believe she committed suicide. He believes that she was murdered because of the statement that she was mailing into her lawyer about all these things that she's accusing Mel of to discredit him for this trial. But the lawyer even says that she did try to commit suicide in the same way that she was found a couple years prior. So,
but also like, think about the world for women in 1979 and 1980. You know, she only recently can even get like a credit card or a home loan mortgage without her husband, right?
Yeah.
Like to leave your husband, even when you guys are like attacking each other in court, is not a given. Not a given.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So it's tough, and that is I think because of her death, it did stir up a lot in these court cases, but I don't think it ultimately changed the verdict for any of these appeals. I think they were all still held up. So that's the sad part. Senator Harrison Williams was convicted of 9 counts of bribery and conspiracy to use his office to aid in business ventures. Indicted October 30th, 1980, convicted May 1st, 1981, and he resigned just hours before he was going to be expelled from office.
Yep, I'm sure he did.
He was sentenced to 3 years. John Myers, the House Ethics Committee expelled him following a conviction. He may have been acquitted of the bribery charges, but was still guilty of some other charges. He was given 18 months. John Jenneret was sentenced to 2 years, and he resigned to avoid expulsion in December of 1980. Richard Kelly was convicted of bribery and served 13 months. Raymond Lederer convicted of bribery and sentenced to 3 years. Ozzie convicted of bribery, sentenced to 3 years. In October of 1980, he was expelled from House. I think he may have been the first one of all of these to be expelled from House or be under review for expulsion. He was actually the first Congress expulsion since was it 1861? I think it was 1861.
Yeah, during the Civil War.
Yeah. And then in 2022, he was sentenced to 2.5 years for voter fraud. So I guess he might be out now. Yeah, he might be out now.
Just in time for the next election.
Hey.
Stewie never sleeps.
Jake Tapper, when he did United States of Scandal, was saying, I wanted to interview Ozzie for the show, but unfortunately he is back in prison. that was the funniest way he could have presented that.
I would have loved to still gotten an interview from that prison, though.
100%. Frank Thompson was convicted of bribery and conspiracy, a 3-year sentence. He resigned in December of 1980, and then also involved... It wasn't just Congress members and senators. It was also 3 Philly city council members, a U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Service inspector, and other smaller political people.
What was the point of ABSCAM?
Initially to catch white-collar criminals, and then the politics just fell in their lap when someone recommended Atlantic City.
And they were like, okay, so let's just do this as an anti-government corruption thing instead?
I think they just started realizing or getting worried that there was a lot more corruption happening in politics. And so they were like, let's do this.
Like, obviously, I'm not sad for the politicians by any means, but it was kind of like they made a side quest their entire thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because at first they were going after like mafia members and what felt like organized crime, which generate actual violence. And then they were like, well, what if we just targeted people who are willing to take a bribe to endorse someone's immigration to the U.S., which, like, while still a crime, obviously, like, doesn't impact my life as much as gun violence down the street does, you know?
It's true. I do think there may have been other things brought up because I think there were multiple meetings with some of these people that there may have been more situations like Senator Harrison where it was like, I will use my political office to get government contracts and stuff like that. I think there may have been more of that than just this immigration thing. I think the immigration thing was really what got them in the door.
It's what got the money in their pocket, but they're like, oh, I love breaking the law.
This.
I do it all the time.
I actually love more $50,000 checks or in some cases $25,000 checks.
And also in one case, $100,000.
Yes.
But you got to be special for that because you're a native New Yorker.
So Stanley Brand, we're now in discussion time. Stanley Brand, who was general counsel for the U.S. House of Representatives from 76 to 83, says, quote, I mean, when people rob a bank, they don't say we need new laws to stop people from robbing banks. They prosecute the people who rob the banks under the existing law. But we have laws to prosecute them.
Right.
So
what's he trying to prove there?
He's trying to say that this was entrapment and not a sting. Jake Tapper cuts in a voiceover that says, "Spoken like a true lawyer for Congress."
Nice.
We need to be watching more of Jake Tapper. Y'all,
Yeah.
He is so sassy. He also then almost immediately argued that there is over-criminalization in politics. And I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Now? You're going to say that now?
Right after the Watergate.
Ooh, okay. That's...
You just can't get elected because of your dad being the chair of the county party and then just sit there for 50 years and siphon as much money as possible off of the federal teams.
It's not like the good old days anymore.
It's not like the good old days. We used to be a proper country.
Yeah. So Stanley would also go on to say, as Justice Frankfurter said, you can't expect legislators to be people of uncommon courage. They have to get elected. And then he also said, I think it was almost bordering on unconstitutional. There was no evidence that any member had or would commit a crime, and yet they set up this elaborate ruse to see if they could lure Congress members into this trap. Jake Tapper's counterpoint to this when talking to Stanley is like, okay, what about Larry Pressler? What about the people who said no? I think Stanley's point is that in order to be elected, you have to fundraise. You have to have money. So
we've created a system where there's not only the ability to do it, but strong incentives to do it.
I mean, look at Trump. He his last 2 elections have been the highest fundraising elections ever.
Right.
So, you know, money does get you places. So it is hard. A sting operation is catching someone already committing a crime, and then you're getting them to step into it. And what Stanley is saying is that the FBI created a crime that did not exist according to his perception. Larry Pressler today said politicians need money. That's the nature of the game. A United States senator has got to raise money, and that's where the difficulty comes in. But the real conversation here is this entrapment? Because they did say yes. They did willingly take the money. And I think there are some cases where Mel Weinberg maybe did go too far. And there were recorded conversations of Mel and some of the FBI agents being like telling Mel, hey, remember, you can't push them too far.
You can't lead them
because... Like, Mel, you absolutely have it in you, babe.
You'll get them there.
You're good at this. Be aware of your power, you know? And so are they stinging people that the FBI has no reason to believe would take bribe? But then also, on the other hand, you have Angelo Ericetti, who they're like, hey, bring anyone who you think would be interested in this to us. So why then is Ericetti thinking that these people are going to be interested in bribes? And then also further, how do we then keep these people out of office if we're worried about corruption?
And there's a thing too where it's like, it's not like the idea hadn't occurred to them and they needed to be coached through it.
Yeah.
You know?
They fully understood the jig.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's no hesitation there at the end when they decide if this is actually what they want to do or not. There is only the question of, does this bribe make me look fat?
Yeah. Exactly. Legacy. Quote, fundamentally, ABSCAM is about greed. People who are desperately greedy will believe almost anything you tell them if they think there is a pot of gold at the end. It ended with the conviction of 6 U.S. congressmen and a U.S. senator and other political officials of a smaller scale. Those who didn't succumb to the bribes ended up doing just fine. Larry Pressler's career continued on. The other guy ended up being governor of New Jersey, and then there was a few others. Larry Pressler then said that John Good, the supervising agent of the FBI for ABSCAM, at his own expense volunteered to come with Larry to campaign for him because he was like, this is a good fucking guy.
This is a good guy.
Yeah. In November of 1980, 2 Philadelphia councilmen's convictions were overturned, but then that ruling was overturned, so... Don't know
Freed, nope, Quebec.
Yeah, sorry. In 1981, this is probably one of the biggest legacies of ABSCAM, the Justice Department issues new guidelines for the FBI, specifically what thresholds of suspicion are required before an undercover operation can be done. They established a review committee to review potential stings. And this is from that release. Quote, before approving an undercover operation involving an invitation to engage in illegal activity, the approving authority should be satisfied that A, the corrupt nature of the activity is reasonably clear to potential subjects, so the people know what they're doing is illegal. B, there is a reasonable indication that the undercover operation will reveal illegal activities. And C, the nature of any inducement is not unjustifiable in view of the character of the illegal transaction in which the individual is invited to engage.
Which is a lot of words for something that is still kind of a little unclear.
Yes.
Like that's a gut call. It's a you know it when you see it kind of thing.
It is. This part is definitely more clear. It says, quote, no undercover operation shall be approved without the specific written authorization of the director unless the Undercover Operations Review Committee determines, insofar as practicable, that either A, there is a reasonable indication based on information developed through informants or other means that the subject is engaging, has engaged, or is likely to engage in illegal activity of a similar type, or B, the opportunity for illegal activity has been structured so that there is reason for believing that persons drawn to the opportunity or brought into it are predisposed to engage in the contemplated illegal activity.
Okay.
So it's just setting words to be like, stop fucking entrapping people.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously this whole thing started as like the FBI being like, no, we mean to do good thing, I promise. And ended with the public being like, are you wiring my living room?
It really is so funny to be like, in order to solve crime, we maybe have to encourage a little bit of crime. Like that is
Yes.
that's such a funny little oxymoron.
I love that. I personally would love to start designing
Be the one that's starting the crime.
the stings, you know? This obviously became a privacy concern for some. Actually, do you want to read the Larry Pressler quote?
Sure.
It's this one that says LP. He's asked, like, do you think it's going to keep going, the corruption in office?
I'm afraid it's just going to keep going on. We still have the same problems today that we had then. I think Washington, D.C. has a corroding influence on people who come here. Little by little, we come to accept more and more dishonesty. Washington, D.C. is a cesspool of money because all of the power here. And if you want to get your position of the pie, your portion of the pie, you've got to tell people that you can get them their rightful share of the Washington, D.C. cesspool pie.
And then read the Jake Tapper quote that's right above it.
Jake Tapper, quote, the only clear loser was Washington, D.C., where no one seemed to learn anything.
This episode opens with like brief coverage of George Santos and Eric
Recently
Adams.
pardoned.
Pardoned.
Yes.
And then
We should get him on the show.
Bob Menendez was another one, and it's just like we just
famously from New Jersey and New York, by the way.
Yeah. And what's the one black justice's name?
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas, another fucking one that is constantly
so crooked you could screw him into the ground.
So crooked that everyone fucking knows that he's crooked. It's
Correct.
crazy,
Correct.
you know? And
meanwhile, he's like, I don't think anyone should have rights except the people I golf with.
Yep. And I don't think we should have interracial marriage, despite the fact that my wife is white. Oh, wait, actually, I don't want interracial marriage. Get rid of her. Okay, we're going to talk about Mel Weinberg now.
Okay.
So he actually does make some money off of this. A lot of it is expenses, but I think a lot of it is also just like Mel like being like, I can't fucking do anything else while I'm helping you. So can you employ me, please?
Please give me a job right now.
And so the number doesn't look good, but the more at first I was like, damn, he made off well. And then I was like, why did he make off well? And then I was like, oh, well, he's also like, I don't know if he paid for the yacht, like whatever.
What was the number?
He, between March 2nd, 1978 and December of 1980, so like almost 2 years, Mel was paid around $150,000 from the FBI. $150,000 in 1979, the year in between, is about $670,000 in 2025, which equates to about $19,000 per month.
Right.
So that is...
It's like 7 years, 8 years of some salaries.
I mean, he is used to $500,000 to $1 million a
year.
Yeah,
so, sure.
But yeah, that's a crazy
He's living
number.
cheap right now.
Yeah. And so Mel is like pretty quick in all of his to be like, well, you do have to remember that a lot of that is expenses. I don't think he's trying to ever downplay it, but he's like, I mean,
I wasn't hand to mouth, but like, you know, don't pay our own. That had to be paid by somebody.
Paid by somebody, and the FBI wasn't going to do it. So
do you know how big the down payment is for a yacht? It's not cheap.
True. They the FBI had acquired that yacht because they found it floating off the coast of somewhere with drugs on board.
Oh, good. Not haunted at all. Good.
They used it as like a place to gather all of these people. And then when they were all there at some point, some of the FBI agents were like fucking around and telling crazy, like other completely made up stories about how they found the yacht and like what the sheiks were going to do with the yacht. And I think that's actually how they came up with the idea of the immigration papers for the con.
Oh, we're going to tow this boat in with the sheik.
Something like that. I don't know, just a funny story. I would love to have been on that boat at like specifically when they were doing that. But Melvin Weinberg is a scam in the ABSCAM case. And then, quote, Mel Weinberg, I think, achieved the holy grail of any con man. This was the ultimate con, and he helped to pull it off. The notoriety, though, had one downside, which was his career as a con man was basically over. His life, though, has been pretty well recorded at this point. The Sting Man was a biography written by Robert W. Greene, published in 1981. And it's based on like 200 plus interviews that Robert did with Mel. And it's kind of formatted like a screenplay. That screenplay would then be turned into a 2013 movie called American Hustle.
Oh, yeah.
Which is based
Starring
off
Jennifer Lawrence and stuff, right?
Yeah, a supporting actress. But yes, so American Hustle is based off of The Sting Man and ABSCAM. It stars Mel Weinberg under another character name. Irving Rosenfeld is the name that they use, but it's Mel Weinberg, played by Christian Bale.
Amazing.
Mel is paid $250,000 for the story rights, and he's flown out to LA to spend a number of days with Christian Bale so that Christian Bale can like
learn his
study
mannerisms.
him. Yeah.
What a fun little assignment for him.
I know.
Probably for both of them, honestly. Mel seems like a character.
He seems so funny. Yeah. Rosalind Rosenfeld is the name of the wife of it's Marie Weinberg, is played by Jennifer Lawrence. Robert De Niro's in it, playing a character that I'm not sure what their relevance is because I didn't get into that. Evelyn Knight, who is the mistress initially that he offers to help the FBI for, is played by Amy Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Angelo Ericetti is played by Jeremy Renner. The main FBI agent, they kind of lump it all into one, is played by Bradley Cooper. Louis C.K. is also in it. Remember when they had the white guy playing the Arab sheik?
I do.
So in this movie, they had a Mexican guy playing the Arab sheik, which somehow, like, reality was worse, you know?
Right. Are they acknowledging it in the movie tongue-in-cheek style?
I think so. I only got through about half of the movie last night, so I didn't get to see him. But it was Michael Pena, who's like, I've seen him in a lot of movies.
Right.
He's in Ant-Man, Narcos, and Jack Ryan.
Because part of the story is that they're just like racially insensitive and wrong.
Yes, that's the point.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I saw a clip of it and it did feel very tongue in cheek of like, this guy's not Arab, and he was like, no, I'm Mexican from Tucson, something while he's like putting on the keffiyeh. Adrian Martinez is also in it. He is from, I just wrote kind of the names of movies I recognized. Secret Life of Walter Mitty, Paul Herman, Silver Linings Playbook, Elizabeth Rome from Law and Order, Alessandro Nivola from The Brutalist, and then Shea Wigman also from Silver Linings Playbook. This movie was done by David O. Russell, who did Silver Linings Playbook just before this. The movie was nominated for 10 Oscars.
Damn.
Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor for Christian Bale, Best Actress, Amy Adams, Best Supporting Actor, Bradley Cooper, Best Supporting Actress, J. Law, Best Writing of Original Screenplay, Best Production Design, Best Costume, and Best Film Editing. It was the most nominated alongside Gravity, but won nothing.
Oh, wow. I was gonna say, I haven't seen it yet. I've only seen like clips.
I just bought it on Amazon Prime because after Lydia regretted not buying the Titanic, why am
I have to own it.
I just have to own it.
Right.
But so far it's really good.
It's been good.
Yeah. After Mel Weinberg's FBI commitment ended, he worked for 15 years as director of security for Louis Vuitton. But I also did see somewhere he worked as a PI in Miami, so unsure if both or one of those is true.
Kind of just bounced around a little bit.
Yeah.
Finding work wherever he can.
He retired in Titusville, Florida, and would pass on May 30th, 2018 at the age of 93. Shortly before he passed, he was still getting calls from producers about projects and inquiries about documentaries. At least to a documentary inquiry from Fox, he told them he would talk only if they donated $3,000 to the nursing home that he was staying at.
Aww.
And because he really loved it because the nurses really doted on him there. Fox ended up paying that fee, but I don't think...
He gave them anything?
Well, I think he may have passed before the documentary came to fruition. His adoptive son, Mel Jr., became a police officer. Mel...
Wait, his adopted son? Mel Jr.?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
not sure the timeline of all that. It's Marie's son, I
Sure.
think. So Mel always said he kept copies of the ABSCAM videotapes and said he enjoyed watching them occasionally until glaucoma caused his eyesight to begin failing.
Oh, well, that's really sad.
It's really sad, but also just so, see, look, I could have gone pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also Ron Dante because he kept that video of him doing
I'm
the
thinking
fucking
of that video of
performance.
him next to the television.
Yes. In 2017, a journalist asked him if he had any regrets, and he said, "Not really. I've had a good life. I like to gamble, but I'm blind and don't gamble no more. I should have been dead a long time ago. I was around a lot of rough guys in my day, but they're all gone now." Weinberg and one of the agents, maybe both of the agents, specifically Agent Fuller, remained close. Mel would later say that, quote, "Getting caught was the best thing to ever happen to me.
Oh.
All the con man in those days died young."
Wow.
Right?
That's a level of like self-reflection that you do not get out of criminals very often.
No. Yeah, but that's Mel Weinberg and ABSCAM.
Well, and now I have to watch American Hustle.
Well, I own it, so
Amazing.
let's watch it.
We can do a little movie night thing.
Let's
I
do
love
it.
that. I've been
Yeah.
meaning to have my body weight in lo mein recently. So
God,
now that it's cold, I'm like, yeah, let's do stuff like that, you know?
That sounds so good.
Summer, I'm like big, extravagant salad. Winter, I'm like hot noodles, sweater,
Hot noodles,
Hot
sweater,
noodles.
blanket.
sweatpants.
movie.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I've been thinking of an alternative title to this in case we don't want Does This Bribe Make Me Look
I love
Fat?
it. I think it might be too long.
I agree, but I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah. The other one I had was Money Talks.
Okay, love that.
Okay.
Bride and Whom
Bride and whom?
instead of Bride and Groom. Money Talks is a lot better in every sense, but
I had one
I
that
was just having fun.
it was like a con something. To con a congressman or something like that. I can't remember what the word play was.
Congress. No. Okay, gotcha.
That was such a dad joke.
It just felt very close to what you were trying to do. Congress is no. You're right. Oh, it's different. No, I see. Oh, yeah, it's different. I see it. Yeah.
A congressional con.
It's
I'm just gonna keep playing with it.
congressional disapproval.
Okay. We'll workshop.
So you let us know what we end up typing for this episode. Well, you can find us on social medias. We're Well I Laughed everywhere, which is awesome. You can, hold on, I can do this. Submit listener stories. Listener stories for the upcoming one, Caught Red-Handed. You can do that on our website, wellilaughed.com, or via our email, wellilaughdpod@gmail.com. You can find additional content on Patreon, and you can always request us for a Thanksgiving message as to why you will not be joining
Or Christmas.
Right, the people who voted for fascism this holiday season.
We would love to explain that. We can actually just have a video on deck.
And when we say we would love to explain that, we're not actually going to explain why you are not attending. It's going to be a video on intersectionality, and we're going to see if they can understand it.
Ooh, I love that.
We can, I'm certified, create a pop quiz that they need to get a passing score on before you can attend.
Someone make it happen.
I'm just launching my own curriculum service here on the pod. So all that and more. Stay tuned.
Join us on Patreon. Rate us 5 stars. Go vote for what episodes you want to rehear.
Sorry. Tonight's election night in America. And so I was also like, go vote. Oh, but yeah, also vote for us. Yeah.
And then vote like next year, I guess.
There's a lot of local elections happening right now. I mean, not anymore. This is like at least 3 weeks into the future now. And so it's too late. But lots of stuff happening.
I've told you the story of, I've definitely told you this. I just want to say it again, that
I'd like to hear it at least once.
Words are not coming out because I put the iPad away. That my ex-boyfriend, after we broke up, was like, I told you I voted in that election, and I actually didn't.
What a weird self-own on his part.
So fucking funny in
Oh,
hindsight.
yeah? Well, you should know that you've been sleeping with an idiot. Peace out.
I refuse to do my Democratic duty or wash my sheets.
Or my Republican duty if you're that one down on that one podcast.
Republic.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay.
Thank you for this. This has been fun.
Yeah, better than the Tylenol, or not better, but like
a different tone.
Easier to
different
consume,
tone.
maybe. Yeah.
Certainly a smaller body count.
Yeah. That was crazy. Like, you're not wrong, but I do think a lot of them are dead now.
It's also like, and we love it because like the Tylenol murders reshaped how we understand medicine packaging. And this did not change our perceptions at all of Congress. But you know, that's
not
okay.
at all.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. None of it surprised me, which was really unfortunate.
I always love the little dribble after our closing speeches, just until we find,
I forgot to say,
the word we want
I
to.
think Angelo Ericetti got sentenced to 6 years.
I'm glad we got it in here
And then I
now
think he died
at this part of the podcast.
I wrote it down in my phone. Hold on.
Do the speeches, and there's still 5 minutes of content left.
Well, I just have to say this one note because I wrote it down, and he served 32 months of a 6-year sentence and died in 2013. There we go.
32 months of a 6-year sentence. Oh, and then he died.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he died in 2013, so he
But
must
he
have gotten
only
out on
served.
parole.
Okay.
Well, 32 months is...
It's a great congressman. Sorry, it's a great lawyer for that congressman. This
Angelo
is the mayor.
Ericetti is the mayor.
Yes, of Atlantic
of
City.
Camden.
He had a great lawyer, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he did have a good lawyer. Yeah.
Let's wrap this up so I can tell you the
gotta
rotisserie
leave.
chicken story.
Yes.
You're going to love it. You really are. And you will too.
Yeah.
So we'll see you there.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Bye.